The New Liberty Standard was one of the first websites where you could buy Bitcoin. And back then, when it first came out, you could buy 1,309 Bitcoin for a single dollar. Today marks an anniversary date since the inception of the website. Exactly 13 years ago. That's crazy. And now, one Bitcoin, of course, it has fallen, but give or take $19,500 at its peak. Almost in the 60s, high 60s. So hopefully one day 100,000. Let's talk about the New Liberty Standard. Oh man, that sounds professional. Whew. And we're selling a LR4 today. Nice classic. This is the same car I took in a couple months back. I like these, but I wish they had more space in them because it's tiny. Tiny for me. I'm a big guy. Tiny. Look at where my legs are. I'm hitting it. Anyways, let's get into it. All right. We just left work, almost 10 p.m. Got out a little earlier today. 13 hours later. So, yeah. Oh, wow. You would have been rich if you invested in Bitcoin back then. Almost over 1,000 Bitcoin for $1. So how did they price it? Well, they priced it according to how much energy was being used. A single Bitcoin was worth 6 cents at the time. And now, it obviously skyrocketed. But back then, after a couple of years, once it hit $1,000, once you had other exchanges, after Mt. Gox and the Silk Road and everything, these monumental occasions and events that happened later that all helped to promote Bitcoin, it was very sketchy back then, and then it started to catch on. And all of these people were just computer enthusiasts who decided to believe in this one project. I'm sure many people would have sold much earlier and were lost their Bitcoin. So the formula, here's an image of what was on there. It was basically calculated by averages. The average electricity that was used to produce a Bitcoin, the average price of electricity in the U.S., and then the average Bitcoin on running, if you were running your computer on high CPU, how much you'd be able to mine, averaged out over 12 months every month. And this is roundabout what the price of Bitcoin was. And then obviously it took off and people started investing. But without these first websites, Bitcoin wouldn't be anywhere. And it's crazy. You had one forum, Bitcoin Talk, that really started exploding. You had the white paper that was emailed by Satoshi Nakamoto to a couple of cryptography enthusiasts and people who were just generally upset because this was, again, 2008, 2009, right after the recession. A lot of people were distrusting of the government and of the banks and pretty much were just frustrated with the whole system. Fiat currency wasn't working, and suddenly they had a solution that actually worked. There were some solutions before, but they didn't work. But this one did. And people started reading the white paper and actually liked it. And then a couple people started investing, and before you know it, it took off. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't $1,000 or $500, but went from $1 to a couple dollars to $10. And there was, crashes and it was seasonal or whatever. It wasn't more so from trading. It was just from really big events that happened, such as one crypto exchange, the massive crypto exchange. You had scams, you had marketplaces fall down, you had exchanges that fell down that were hacked, tons of exploits and vulnerabilities, and it was just Wild West, right? You could do anything you wanted. You could make a ton of money in the early days. But just like right now, I'm sure there's inventions right now that if you were to invest today, 5 years from now, you're going to be a mega millionaire or billionaire. Because the world's getting better. Technology's evolving at a faster rate. And it's very exciting. So without these websites, obviously Bitcoin wouldn't be here. But, woohoo, anniversary, yay! It's very fun to look back at history and learn from it. And I know I have the book somewhere. I've got it somewhere under my backpack here. The book that I'm reading right now explores the early days of cryptocurrency and how crazy it was. Honestly, the people who were promoting it were absolutely insane. No one would listen to them who was normal. people would be like, okay, all right, see ya. Because think about it, who would want to invest, and people were commenting on this as well, who would want to invest not only their money later on, but their time into this, where, for example, one guy came up, he was a computer scientist, and he's like, yeah, let's just mine Bitcoin on like 35 computers. Why not, right? And someone was like, I don't know, I'd rather invest my time, maybe drinking a beer or doing some normal college stuff, right? Not setting up miners and, Bitcoin's worth like 6 cents. Like, what do you mean? I mean, what, are you going to earn $100 in a year? But then, bam, people became millionaires. And it was by chance, to be quite honest. It was a complete fluke for people. You needed a lot of luck. It's like the lottery, because at that point, it was so early. You had so many, think about it, before Bitcoin, you had so many inventions that failed. So many similar ideas that just went nowhere. Bitcoin was not the first of its kind, and no one was prepared for what was about to happen later. And without these first early investors, early enthusiasts, and these early websites, the snowball wouldn't have started. And people really got on board 2015, 2016, massive influx of people, 2017, 2018, and then, of course, pretty much every cycle now. During the bear market, there's a ton of negative attention, but when the negative attention, you got all these people already. It's marketing. You got these people to listen. So suddenly when it turns positive, people are interested. Man, my window's dirty. So, wow. Anyways, Christmas is pretty soon around the corner. I'm very excited. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day. I have to go to sleep. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Another long day ahead of us tomorrow, and then Saturday. So Sunday will be my rest day. But until then, we're going to edit this video, and you guys have a good one. Bye.